It's Thursday. It's 10 a.m. in the UK, 5 a.m. on the East Coast. Good morning, America. And this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 177. So welcome to the show. Now, ordinarily, there are four of us on screen. At the moment, it's just me. So I'm waiting for John and Peter and Stephen to arrive. Hopefully they'll get a notification that we're going live and will join me shortly, which will be good because to have a discussion, you need more than one person. Whilst we're waiting though, this week the Live Video Hub Radio launched and we've got 15 broadcasters, all broadcasting 5 shows a week on radio, and they are your favorite people who you watch live on Facebook, and you can catch up with their shows on audio on Live Video Hub Radio, and also later in the week you'll be able to catch the podcast too. And it's an exciting adventure. It's something I wanted to do for a long time, is to have a radio station. Now I have, and the sky's the limit. I'm using a system called, and say good morning to Tish. I'm using a system called radio.co, which is based in Manchester in the UK, which used to be my old stomping ground where I lived. And they provide the software and we provide the content. Content comes from, as I said, from live videos that have actually been broadcast on Facebook. They're then either transferred to YouTube or using repurpose.io, I can take the MP3s and then the MP3s are uploaded to the radio station and scheduled. Everybody who's on there has got a time slot, Monday through Friday, and 5 shows during the week, different shows every day. And it's going well so far. It's off to a good start. Things start quietly and then build up. More and more people will be coming and joining us, but at the moment we've got some of the best people who broadcast on Be Live on Facebook actually in there, and we've got music from Moby and we've got music from Angie as well, and the music catalogue will grow too. If you do know of any independent artists, then please let me know about them, and I'll put them on the station too. It's, as I say, this is my dream come true, and it's working well. And with Fonz, things are going from strength to strength. Fonz is running the sister station, which is Cambridge Historian Radio. And if you enjoy music from the 50s through to the 90s, then you can go along to his page and listen to music while you surf. And all of that will be helping Fonz. So that's good. I'll post a link for that later if I find it. So 2 radio stations, Live Video Hub Radio, otherwise known as the LVHR, and thank you Gospel for that. And the second one is Cambridge Historian Radio, which is playing music from the 50s through 90s. We discovered that we couldn't have a combined station without paying for licensing, lots of licensing in the US, the UK, Australia, in fact, everywhere we actually broadcast. So this is basically a compromise, but it's working well. And we're still working together on both stations, and we invite you to listen and follow on that link. Say hello to Corinda. And Corinda, thank you for joining us. And we've just been talking about Live Video Hub Radio, which you can listen to. Oh, that's another topic. Which you can listen to on the internet or on Facebook. We're fortunate that 2,000 people have liked the Live Video Hub page, and therefore we can have integrated web pages, and been able to integrate the Live Video Hub Radio and Live Video Hub videos, mouthful there, onto the one page. And if you go to the Live Video page and you click the Welcome tab on the left hand side, that'll take you straight to the radio and straight to all the videos that are playing live on the hub. Now, as far as the hub is concerned, we've made a change to the Live Video Hub insofar as we're not just taking cross-posted videos, we're taking videos, anybody who's actually broadcasting on Be Live and doesn't have a cross-posting arrangement, then we're moving the videos and sharing them on the page as well. So we've now increased the number of broadcasts that are actually going out on a live video hub on a daily basis, and that's working well too. All right, now I am a little bit wondering where everybody is. They also saw the link yesterday. I don't know. Perhaps this is my solo show. Okay, Blabbing for Britain, episode 177. And if anybody wants to join me on camera, I'm going to post a link because it looks like we've got some spare seats. So the link is here. And you're more than welcome to come and join me on camera. If you are here, then please do say hello. Then we know who you are. And this is most strange. For one of them to, there's the link. For one of them to be missing is not a problem. For all of them to be missing is quite strange, unless they happen to have a sixth sense about what's going on at the moment. Right, okay. I just want to say congratulations to Derby Football Club, the Rams, who have been now in the final for a place in the Premiership. Now, a place in the Premiership, they're in the Championship, and they're in the match which decides who is promoted to the Premiership, which is a league that contains Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, all the big players, and Burnley, of course. And to be in the Premiership, Football Premiership, is worth to the club £150 million or $200 million a year. This is big money, and it's big money because of the television contracts. And by the end of the first year, the club that goes up will be £300 million better off. So it's the game with the most, well, it's a prize. This takes place later in May, and good luck to Derby. Fond memories of working close to Derby, and well, commiserations to Leeds because they didn't do as well. And there's a call gone out to Peter, Stephen, and where are you? Wherefore art thou? Indeed, good question, Tish. I have no idea. I posted the link to come on the show, as I normally do, early yesterday, and earlier than normal. I was organised, and your words have been heard, Tish.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm all right, but my internet was off. It's come back now.
Oh, good. That's the problem, isn't it? We don't realise how much we use it.
How reliant we are on it as well.
Truly. I mean, you still had your mobile phone, but you didn't have internet, as we call it.
Yes, but of course I don't have Wi-Fi on my PC. I have to go and hunt for my plug-in USB aerial.
Oh, sounds complicated.
Well, just doesn't have Wi-Fi on the motherboard. It's an old motherboard.
Oh, right, okay.
And unfortunately, I've broken my mobile phone. Not in a terrible way, but I've smashed the lens on the zoom.
Right.
I know how I've done it, in a bumper case and everything, but so it's got to go away to be repaired. So where are the others? Do we know?
What do you do in the meantime? I don't. And that's a question I've been asking myself for the last 10 minutes, and Tish started asking a few minutes ago. Where is everybody? Say good morning to Claire, who's joining us whilst waiting for a client call. Morning, Claire. And now that you're here, John, I can say an official good morning to Tish and an official good morning to Corinda, because we're underway now.
Hi, Tish.
All right, and okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we now have 3 of us. Hello.
Greetings. How are we? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Who's we at the moment? I get in trouble with various defence contractors. Who are they? No. I'll get the code.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, welcome, Stephen. And our starter for 10, and I'll be back in a moment if you forgive me, is, well, what would you like? Pick a number.
6.
You want number 6?
Go on, 6.
Okay. HS2 will shortchange the North.
Yeah, because it won't have enough money in 2030 to do what it promises. I heard this one on Radio 4 this morning.
It's been true for years, though, hasn't it? It's always been a white elephant.
I don't see the need for it personally, but they've purchased all that land and everything.
Have they done that, even without having a sort of business case properly worked out?
Well, they purchased that comedian's house for £6 million, didn't they? Not too far from you.
Really?
Yeah. John Bishop's house.
Oh, the Liverpudlian bloke.
Yeah. In Cheshire.
All right, we're not really Cheshire, mate.
No. But it's not a million miles from you, Cheshire,
no,
is
of course
it?
it's not a million. No, of course not. No, 6 million. Jesus.
I meant figuratively speaking when I said not too far from you.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, it's not gonna happen. First of all, it ain't gonna happen because we can't afford it, and there isn't the political support for it anymore. I don't think. This is just one man's opinion, but the way in which they screw up government contracts, the way the government screw up contracts, like there's those. What's the one in London?
Crossrail.
Billions of pounds over budget, years away from delivery.
There have been a few hitches, some made and some natural. And that they had to stop development in one area because of some archaeological findings, which put them back 6 months. But then somebody ordered trains that weren't compatible with the signalling system. So they've had to spend a load of money on putting that right.
Left and right hand. Crazy world we live in.
Yeah. And it wasn't the developer's fault. It was Transport for London that made the mistake.
All right. Okay. On a good note then, do any of you listen to Chris Evans on Virgin Radio?
Oh, he's broke. See, look, I know this one too. He's broke the 1 million mark for Virgin Radio.
They've gone from 400,000 listeners per week to over 1 million. That's amazing. Well, John, the story.
I only heard the first bit. Apparently, his old show's down 800,000 listeners.
Yeah.
But they say that is not bad at all, because quite often they go down more significantly than that when you change the presenter.
That's true. 600,000, then they found Virgin and moved over to Virgin. So that's good. Okay.
LBC broke the 2 million mark as well.
Yeah.
Is LBC just for London or is it national now?
When I saw the article, I asked myself that question. I do not know the answer.
All right. Okay. Well, most radio stations should be available on the internet, whether it's via their own direct broadcasting or via TuneIn.
This is an advert for Live Radio Hub.
Get them any way you can.
Or is it Live Video Hub Radio? I can't remember.
Sorry, I'll bring it up so that we all know. It's Live Video Hub Radio.
Okay.
There you are. Broadcasting on the internet and on Facebook, which is also on the internet. And it's broadcasting repeats of Blabbing for Britain, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Not to be missed. And then you can come and watch the live show on Thursday afterwards. See that planning there? Planning? Right. Okay. And now this is the president again, and he's declared national emergency over IT threats. Over to our IT reporters, John and Stephen.
You're first.
It's another thing in this Chinese trade war, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's just lunacy.
Another brick in the Chinese trade war.
Is this a case of cut off your nose to spite your face?
It's distraction. It's distraction from the main event, which is the evil Republican Party trying to get Roe v. Wade abolished. You'll recall he managed to get, sorry, go back a bit. The Republicans managed to block Obama's attempt at getting a liberal onto the Supreme Court.
Yep.
Stonewalling him for a year or more. Then Trump brings along this, it's a family show, this awful person, Kavanaugh. And he's in Trump's pocket, in the Republican Party's pocket, and he's now on the Supreme Court, having said he wouldn't even look at Roe v. Wade, which is the law which enables or allows abortion within the US.
Yeah.
Of course, he was lying. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, should I? It would appear that it wasn't quite accurate in what he said. But now there's now a situation in Alabama where the Senate of Alabama, made up of 28 old white men, have decided to make abortion illegal in Alabama. Punishment for the doctors who carry out the procedure is 99 years in jail. And that's got to go before the governor very soon, who would then make it law in Alabama. Similarly, in Ohio, there are moves to make it such that if a fetus has a heartbeat, it is not legal to have an abortion. And that's going through their Senate at the moment. But all these cases are there, and all the distraction from Trump away from this hugely divisive and it's a horrible area to have to even think about. But it's all about getting Roe v. Wade overturned in the Supreme Court. Everything Trump does, everything those evil Republicans do, is to their agenda, or to distracting the electorate from that main reason for the Republicans, apart from the tax cuts for rich people. So it's hugely depressing, because there's nothing we can do about it in the UK, and the only people who seem to be able to make a bit of a difference is from the Democrats, who are still not able to just say, we're going to impeach that person. We're still waiting for it. And look at all the bloody evidence they've got.
Yes, but they decided a couple of months ago. Nancy Pelosi said, we're not going to impeach him. Simple as.
I don't know. She didn't say that, Stephen. She didn't say that. She was sort of. We were going to. She always says that they're going to uphold the responsibilities of the Congress,
right?
In the way in which they protect the separation of powers and all that stuff. It doesn't help that you got Trump's paid Attorney General, the senior lawman in the country, doing bad things and summarizing a 400-page Mueller report within 48 hours in a 4-page letter. They really have got to get they have to get the prime time impeachment hearings in the House, where they can get House of Representatives, where they can get all this stuff out against Trump, because his base is never going to change.
Right.
As he himself said, he could shoot somebody in Times Square and he still get elected. And it's true. His deplorables are always going to support him, no matter what he does.
All of which brings us to British politics and Farage, but I'm not going to mention Farage. It's just a segue. You're talking there about impeachment. We don't need impeachment. Theresa May is due to meet Tory MPs of the leadership today again.
I think it was Claire who just said, this is still Act 1. This is Act 1 of Brexit. We're not even at the end of Act 1 of Brexit. And whereas, the Yanks have got the evil empire in McConnell and Trump and Barr and all them lot, we've got our own clowns over here. Our useful idiots are over here. Weakest leader the country's ever had, the worst opposition that the country's ever had. You blokes, you Liberals, are going to be the sort of only, should I think be the only place where a pro-leave vote in a few days' time. And then, of course, you've got Boris Johnson and Farage. It's desperate times worldwide, mate. I'm sorry, it just is.
I'm going to try and cheer you up before the end of the program, Stephen.
Good man.
The stories we've got to get through. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to, pluck up the courage or have the cojones to actually oust Theresa May. The current reading is that she's going to bring her new WAB, is it now called WAB, week commencing 4th of June. If that's not voted for, if Turkeys don't vote for Christmas, and that does not make it through, then there are two options. Only two left. We're down to the end game. There are two options. The two options will be, from the 11th of June onwards, the two options will be leave without a deal or revoke Article 50.
Is that
What's your vote, John?
I thought Parliament had already stopped leave without a deal.
That's been superseded, hasn't it, mate?
It's a
up with the rubbish,
Yeah, but yes, it's exasperating. Right, okay, let's catch up with 1 or 2 comments, and just to going back to the radio for a moment. Kelly's saying, go back to Chris Evans and Virgin Radio. Outside the UK, no. Sadly, our broadcasting rights do not allow us to play to locations outside the UK. If you're in the UK, please enter your postcode. Well, that's good. Well, at least we know now. And Kelly says, good day. And
we can give you a British postcode if you want one.
But they've got his IP address too, John. I mean, you're going to have to spoof your IP address.
Come on, there's millions of toys that stop the IP address for you.
It's worth doing it, Kelly. They need to leave her doing what she's doing. Right, and to counterbalance Stephen, Kevin says she's one of the best leaders we've ever had, and we are a free society, and everybody's entitled to opinions, and this has really lifted up our spirits. Kevin, we're trying, mate. We're trying, but it's very difficult. And Claire Evans, absolutely appalling situation in Alabama, although in Northern Ireland it's even worse. So close to home.
I forgot about that.
Close to home, Stephen.
Was calling. Somebody was calling Alabama Talibana, but then somebody did pipe up and say that is it Northern Ireland or is it Ireland, which is very
Ireland voted to allow abortion recently.
So it's Northern Ireland then, which is part of Great Britain, for God's sake. So yeah, it's a good point. Very good point.
You made a mistake there. You can't call it Great Britain. We're not great anymore, are we?
Oh yes, we is. Right. We are.
Where's
great.
Peter?
I don't know where Peter is. I've not heard a word from Peter this morning. And Kelly's saying, unfortunately, they use cookies as well, John. So it's obviously more complicated. And Kevin's saying, Right. Okay. Kevin is saying, isn't it obvious that Theresa May has played a chess game over this and is going to the point of revoking Article 50?
If you don't mind putting high risk in front of that, yes, I completely agree.
Okay, a high-risk chess game. Winner takes all.
Did we see the bit about Thomas Cook this morning and how their shares have fallen 16%, and they're blaming
Brexit. Yeah, true.
There you go.
True.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's common sense. When we're going to leave the EU on the 29th of March, and it's the main booking period is between January and March. We were going to leave the EU on 29th of March. Nobody had any idea what would happen if you tried to go abroad after the 29th of March. And fear, uncertainty, and doubt put people off. Yeah. I'm just glad that it's been now extended 31st October, because we can now go to Dresden in July and enjoy it. Right. Okay. So the holiday bookings are down. Thomas Cook's profits lost $1.5 billion, didn't they?
Crazy, man. Crazy.
It is crazy.
It's only the price of 3/4 of a jet, though, isn't it? Because they're using £2 billion jets or something, aren't they?
Jets don't cost $2 billion, surely.
They cost a lot.
How much does a jet cost? Google, how much does a jet
Alexa. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
A321.
Sorry.
A321. Hold on, let's get this out of the bloody open. A321 jet cost.
Okay, and Google is our friend.
Right. How much do you think? What have you got?
I'm gonna say 285 million.
Cool, good one, John.
In seriousness, I think it's probably around the 500 million mark.
According to Google, according to Wikipedia, an A321 costs $115 million. Bargain, I think it was.
It is a bargain, considering we're just about to pay. Considering we're just about to pay $2 billion for it, we can have 15 for that price.
We did well on the coffee morning.
I've got to give Kevin his due, and Kevin is saying that if she did manage to revoke Article 50, it would make her one of the greatest leaders. Okay, so that's almost done with politics.
Joking at that comment.
Right. Okay. I'm just.
I really.
Okay. Now.
Are you all right, mate?
Okay. Chris Grayling. What do we think of Chris Grayling?
On principle.
Now he's the man who organised all the ferry services for Brexit, isn't he? Including the one that didn't exist. Well, he's also the guy who organised the privatisation of the probation service.
Yeah, well done there as well.
Half of it, which cost us. It cost us 3 aircraft. Because quick bit of math, it cost us 3 or 4 aircraft because the private service that's provided just wasn't up to par.
Who'd have thought that could have happened?
Indeed. So they're privatizing it again, and instead of having several separate services all looking after offenders, you just have one service and it will be harmonized. And so there you are. Anyway, back to the comments, and he should join Boris Johnson in court. Well, he's got a job for life because he's one of the in crowd on Mrs. May's team. So despite whatever he does, he's Teflon coated. This is just my opinion. Right, talking of privatisation, over to our political reporter, whichever one of you wants to take it, really. Labour unveils national grid takeover plan.
Good.
Not plot, plan.
Good. Yeah, do that. Because it's been a stunning success, hasn't it, since the privatisation?
Well, they're making money on it.
Here for the opposite view.
Oh, we do need. Yeah, he is missed when we talk politics. Okay, but after this comes water, doesn't it? I mean, what you actually got to secure, just speaking generally as a country, you want in public ownership your transport, well, infrastructure, your water, electricity, your gas.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's not being a leftist. That's just being security in these times. It's being security, and well, it's just a good thing to actually have.
God bless them. I used to work. I did some work on a consultative basis with a water company, and they really were one of the good ones, and they were really concerned about getting rid of leaks and giving value for money and all that sort of stuff. But the one thing that they told me that was just screwing that work was that they had to report a profit to their owners, to the shareholders.
Yep.
And that was a significant amount of cash, which should have been invested in the water network for sure. And they would just be moaning it all the time. And then there was a lot of loss of focus, because their owners were being bought out. So they became an asset of the company that was being sold. And the amount of management effort that went into, it's like with the railways were privatized, the amount of effort and cost and bad words that I can't say.
No, you can't say them. Just as a small point, you're actually filling 1/3 of your screen.
Oh.
Right. Okay, you're back now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Doesn't show on radio. And Kevin's saying Labour unveils plans all the time but never follows through. Well, it can't. Labour starts, then lets the Tories complete, then moans about it. Okay. Which is why, John, we need the Lib Dems.
Yeah.
All right. And
are you two going towards the Greens, Dan? Or are you sticking in Lib Dem hell?
I was speaking to somebody. I'm not.
Dem hell when they have the largest number of growth in local councillors.
That's a one-off, John. One-off.
No, it wasn't. You'll see next. we get a vote next Thursday.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a high turnout or not? Do you think the Brexit Party will push a high turnout?
No.
Yes.
All right.
The Brexit Party is a joke.
Hey?
The Brexit Party is a joke.
It is, but
yeah.
Thanks to the BBC for promoting Farage. They're going to be the natural place for people who are very fed up with the Tories and Labour, and I reckon that the Liberals will do very well, and I reckon that because of the Remainers, it's the first chance you'll be able to hear from a Remainer in a national election.
Well, it is an official referendum, isn't it?
Exactly. It's going to be,
It's black versus white, exit versus Remain.
A vote for Farage is a vote for I don't know what.
As a pro, quite right, Kevin, but that's it. It has been. Stephen is saying that it becomes the second referendum.
Well, basically, we had this situation where people voted in 2016 not for the actual. Well, a lot of people voted because they disliked the government. It was a protest vote, and it's a protest vote that went, in my opinion, totally wrong. Because, as I say, we went to bed thinking this is safe and got up wondering what had happened. Kevin's saying that there's a long game being planned here, a chess game, and she's pushing them down a path where the only options are scupper the country or Remain. But next Thursday is a chance to actually vote and say Remain and vote for the Lib Dems or Greens. And or if you want to leave, still want to leave, you vote for Brexit. But it is very confusing. Just to go to Labour for a moment, Stephen, to understand what Labour actually want?
Don't know, mate. I'm not a Labour Party member anymore.
All right, that's okay then. In which case, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to know.
Conservative when you want one.
Indeed.
I said, where's our Conservative when you want one? He's out in his right van, presumably.
Yeah. I mean, you don't use a vote to unite the country because they don't want to be united. We're not going to unite yet, not until October 31st. Then we've got to unite because whatever happens on October 31st, because I think the European countries have had enough of this, so I don't think we're going to get an extension beyond the 31st. Unless, of course,
is that definite? Is it completely outside the realms of possibility that we could have another extension in October?
No. Macron dit non. Well, Macron says no, and that's the end of it. Because I don't think Angela is that impressed by what we've been up to.
No.
And Corbyn wants whatever the Russians. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, we're going left and right on this show today. Now, to steer a middle course, let's go on something that's not contentious or political and talk about something that affects the whole world. And of course, it's software. It has to be. Everybody who uses WhatsApp, which is 1.5 billion people around the world, was asked to update their software. Have you updated your software, gents?
Yeah, of course.
Not on WhatsApp.
2 out of 3 people are not on WhatsApp. This is a scientific survey. I don't have WhatsApp either. But this was scary. Well, from a technical point of view, this is scary in that they could, theoretically, not that they have, sort of ring your phone. You don't need to answer your phone, but they then have access. Is that right?
I don't know, but that sounds like something you've been able to do for a while back in the day you could do. But it's scary.
It is. I mean, you just have to say that the devices aren't secure. The internet's not secure.
Yeah.
And act accordingly.
So for an iPhone or on iOS, obviously on iOS, you could. That's how you could do it, or on an iPhone. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
What we're saying is that they could call you. You don't answer, and that gives them access to the WhatsApp and through WhatsApp to the kernel, and they can do whatever they want.
Incredible.
Right. And
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and they've been saying that this is why you shouldn't have encryption. That's a totally different argument, though, because anything you do on WhatsApp on your phone locally is not encrypted. It's only encrypted when you send it to somebody else. And it's only encrypted during the transmission. So the police and the defense services cannot pick up what's actually being transmitted. And Kevin's confirming that Apple devices can get hacked just like other devices. And I saw a story about that too. So there you have it. Any device is capable of being hacked by
well, it's kind of that's yeah, in theory, yeah. But
this, I mean,
the one example where an iPhone has been hacked,
right.
I'll happily look at it.
Right. Okay. But this was an Israeli company who work for national defense forces globally, and somebody there must have gone rogue.
Somebody there was probably working for WhatsApp and built in the back door.
Yeah. Well, this is what WhatsApp discovered themselves and put the fix out. All right. Okay. Now, I don't know. I think most families have known cancer in their immediate family or extended family. And they've announced a breakthrough today in cancer treatment. Normally, they can remove, in the case-by-case basis, they can remove most of a cancer for it to become less of a problem to the individual concerned it's sometimes virtually impossible to remove the whole of the cancer, and then the cancer can morph and grow back. What they're saying now is that when the cancer does morph, it can be treated. So this is a major breakthrough in the treatment of cancer, because secondary cancers can now be treated in the same way as primary cancers. And cancer is an insidious disease, which affects far too many people. So to the scientists who've actually done this, my thanks.
It comes at the same time as, was it a week ago where they were saying that if you're using the correct antiretrovirals for HIV, you can effectively block the transmission of HIV, because you're keeping it under such control that, and again, it goes to what you said about the cancer thing, where it's when it metastasizes, it's the kind of the chink in its armor, which you can just nip through as it's metastasized. I don't know, but I'm just really encouraged by these guys. Was it Cancer Research who did it?
It is, yeah.
As an organisation, you've got to say hats off to them. They're superb people, superb scientists.
Indeed. Right. Now we go from something serious and practical, which will help us all, to something entirely different. TV industry is under the microscope after the Jeremy Kyle show was cancelled.
Switch me off. I'm going to go rogue.
You're going rogue? Seriously? You're going rogue?
It's a non.
Go on. Sorry, John.
I said I don't think it's a particularly interesting topic.
Gone.
Oh, it is, right. Mate.
Okay, that was easy.
I mean, Jeremy Kyle. Well, so what? You know.
Okay. You want an interesting topic. The both of you want something you can get your teeth into. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Eurovision Song Contest, presumably.
You know me so well. I just want to let everybody know, especially, well, Australia have qualified for the final. Now, this is very important because Australia is...
It says Euro. When was Australia moved to Europe?
A similar question could be asked about Israel, and there's
indeed
part of it as well.
Right. Okay.
What was it? Boom, bang, bang. Wasn't that something we won with once?
We have won. We're not likely to win now with politics as it is.
Although, if you're a Remainer, if you want to really something off the Brexit boys, vote, get the international Angela onto her friends and say vote to make the British win, right? So we win, and guess who hosts the Eurovision Song Contest next year? We do. So we're leaving the EU, and then we're going to host the Eurovision Song Contest. I just love the irony. I love it.
Yeah, and Kevin's making the point. It's really important about media and mental health, and
He's so correct there.
Yeah, we just. If I hadn't had his name on there, we'd probably discussed it further, and we probably will in the coming weeks as well. So, point well made, Kevin. Right. So, you want to know why Australia's in Europe, John?
Health Week.
Sorry.
It is Mental Health Week. By the way.
Okay. Right. So you want to know why Australia's in Europe?
Yeah.
It was done as a one-off gesture. The original idea was something crazy. I don't remember the idea, but Australia were invited to join in one year, and they just got so taken with the idea of this song contest, and that they wanted to be in it every year. So they are. They're an honorary member of Europe. Yeah. So that's the reason, really. Okay, I think I've gone through we've done well here. We've gone through most of the stories. In fact, I've got to say, we've gone through all the stories, in which case it's time to talk about live video of radio. And I'll put the link in again. If you want to listen to Blabbing for Britain, you can do that from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. every day. And you can listen to our past episodes. And this episode will be live on the radio next week. You've got to catch it live, and just go to the link and you can listen to your favorite artists. That's the three of us, and Brigetti and David, and well, a whole host of live video peeps. All right, I have run out of steam here. I don't have anything else to say, and we've got quarter now to go. So, should we talk about Bolton? No, not about Bolton. Sorry, Leeds and Derby. Now there's a thing.
No, it's Leeds. Is it Leeds? Is it Villa in the final?
Derby are in the final.
Yeah.
Derby actually won it 4-3 on aggregate
Against
Leeds.
Yeah. So Leeds aren't in the final. Obviously, it's Villa and Derby, isn't it?
I wanted to say conversion.
But that night, Derby knocked Leeds out to go into the final.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Leeds.
It's a senior moment. Forgive me.
It's okay. I was just explaining that the final, the championship final, or the final to get into the Premiership, is worth £150 million.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the game with the biggest reward ever, and that 150 could turn into 300 million by the end of the year.
Unfortunately, second year running, and I still have the horrible feeling in my water that we're not going to do it again.
You mean Villa?
Yeah.
Yeah, they try so hard. And I've got a mate who's a Villa supporter, and they're so in fact. Are you actually a Villa supporter, John?
I don't go to matches, but if I look at the scores, that's the first score I look at.
Yeah, he goes to every away match, every home match, and his enthusiasm, even when it goes wrong, it's just so uplifting. They've got a great following. They really have. But is it Saturday the final?
No, 27th, Monday the 27th, bank holiday Monday.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So you've got League Two on the Saturday, League One on the Sunday, and Championship on the Monday. All three playoffs in successive days, all at Wembley.
A weekend of football. Talking of football, which we are, we're going to switch the topic.
And that Burnley club.
Somebody say Burnley. Burnley. We're fourth year in the Premiership. That's good.
5 to go then before you do a Stoke.
Right, now we asked for topics, and
well, if we're going to talk about football, a couple of strange sackings to me. I mean, Brighton is a very poorly invested in club, and they fire their manager after he gets them to a cup final, a cup semi-final or a cup final, one or the other, and keeps them in the Premiership, and then his reward is to be fired. And then David Flitcroft, who took his team to the playoffs in League Two, Mansfield, gets sacked when they lose the playoff.
It's a doggy
place, it's just madness.
Yeah, it is.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Whilst you're looking for that word, Kelly's suggesting that we talk about GB hockey. Now, that would be good, and Ice Hockey World Championship 2019. But you'd have to brief us before the show, Kelly, because our knowledge of ice hockey, you could probably fit on a pinhead, and that's the combined knowledge of the three of us. So we can mention it, quite happy to mention it, and if it, we'll have a look before next week.
Well, my brother is a sponsor of Coventry, the Blaze, Coventry Blaze. But that's about some knowledge of ice hockey.
Right. Okay.
One of his two businesses makes replica shirts. So.
Right.
That's it. That's my ice hockey.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going into a dissertation then.
No, that's my some knowledge. All I know is Zamboni. Do you know what a Zamboni is?
Nope.
It's the machine that goes round and scalps the ice and then re-waters and refreezes the surface. Also, my brother produced some T-shirts with a picture of a Zamboni on it, and they threatened to take him to court for copyright infringement. The Zamboni people,
Yep.
so, all the way from Canada, threatened to take him to court. So,
Okay. There
Kelly,
we have it.
Canada, isn't he? Is Kelly in Canada?
Kelly is in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, right, same place as David.
Correct. Though they haven't met yet. And Kelly's agreeing with you, John, and has given a link to a YouTube video, which we can find out more.
That's a video of a Zamboni. The Zamboni is a much loved thing in hockey.
Yeah. Okay.
They slap it when it comes out at half time.
Right. Okay, so what's happening in Stoke this weekend, Stephen?
Well, the Titanic Brewery have created a community cafe stroke pub in where I live, in a place called Trentham. Stunning success. Beautiful beer, of course, but it's just a beautiful place to go. And I've got my second business meeting because it's 6.5 minute walk from my house. So it's really a brilliant little. It's a brilliant local community resource, which we're all really pleased about. And then looking at Stoke City, maybe we won't look at Stoke City. And then, just gorgeous weather, 90 degrees outside, and the palms and the beach and the sand. Yeah, brilliant.
It's going to be winter jacket time tomorrow, though.
Oh,
We're going backwards.
God. Is that Farage's fault?
I don't, not yet, no.
Oh, and of course, there was a very, very newsworthy happening in Stoke-on-Trent and Moises was it Wednesday or Thursday? Tuesday, whatever, where we had the very first national podcast from me, and my guest was you, Stephen.
It was, yes.
Fab time, and our podcast will be out on the 31st of May.
Brilliant.
On iTunes and all that Spotify and all that sort of thing. I actually heard a podcast today about Spotify as a resource for business to do marketing for brands. So you create a playlist which is appropriate to your brand, and it's all sorts of weird stuff going on. And I still want to put it onto that radio station you were talking about, the live, live radio, public radio, whatever you call it. So that's going on. That's what's going on in Stoke-on-Trent.
Very good. Well, if you'd like your podcast to go onto the radio after the 31st of May, then just give me a nod. Right. Okay. What's happening in Solihull, John?
Well, we've been having a couple of excitement things happening, not within half a mile of here. We had two exciting things. A man and his son got shot.
What?
Oh. Huh? This is Solihull.
In the legs.
Oh.
They were doing a drive, and some Jippo types, and excuse my using the word because that's how they've been described in the paper by the police, were trying to steal their brand new low loader trailer with a grab arm.
Oh, God, blimey.
Yes.
It wasn't my choice of word. That was the word used by the police. I suppose it's better than calling them pikeys, which everybody else calls them around here. And then yesterday, a woman is going up the hill on the Warwick Road and smoke starts pouring out of the front of her car. And she well and truly has to get out and stand back while it burns.
Oh, dear.
2 bits of excitement. Not sure they're that exciting, but 2 bits of excitement. What else is happening? We're off to the hotel tonight to pay the final lump sum for Alice's wedding, which is 3 weeks on Saturday. Celia and Alice and her friends are off to Spain on Saturday till Tuesday for their hen weekend.
Oh, goodness me.
What else can I say? Can't think of anything else exciting happening.
Okay.
I'm hoping the weather is going to stay better, but I've heard rumours it's not going to be great tomorrow. But we'll wait and see.
Right.
Are you expecting good weather down that way, Stephen, tomorrow? Or
No, it's going to be cold, and I'm headed up north. I'll explain why after the show, if I may. Yeah, I just wanted to say a public thank you to Katie Davey, who is Angelica's daughter, and who took the most wonderful photograph last weekend.
On the bench.
Yeah, when we're out for a walk, and I just love the photograph. It's on Angelica's profile at the moment.
I have seen this.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments.
I was going to subtitle it "Get a Hotel Room," but then I thought,
well, that's how good it was. That's how good it was.
They look very lovely, and it is a nice photo.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Well, we've gone through the hour again. We've gone through all the topics. We've nothing left to talk about. So over to you, John.
There must be something to talk about. The weather is forecast for tomorrow isn't that bad. It's still 16 round here, and it's only forecast at 17 today. So
yeah, okay.
I have to see what happens tomorrow. Well, I don't know. We've all run out of things to say. I can't believe we've got nothing to say about Brexit other than let's sack a prime minister, shall we? That would be good. So it looks like at 10:57 we've come to the end. So I just want to check. Are the palm trees still all right in the garden?
Gorgeous, mate. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They're nice.
Haven't blown over or anything?
No, all fine. All fine. I'm just going to put some factor 50 on.
Kevin's just put up Solihull Council left over offensive rejoins Solihull Tories. Yeah, we all make the odd mistake, don't we, Kevin? I mean, I'm sure I've tweeted things that I've regretted afterwards. And to be honest with you, they weren't particularly offensive. But rejoining the Tories, well, they had to get him back on board, otherwise they'd have lost control of the council. So that's why he's been forgiven. Because they took a bit of a hammering. And some organisation called the Lib Dems and the Greens stole a load of their seats. So they had to forgive him because he was serving as an independent. Else they'd have lost control of the council. So, well, it's goodbye from him up there. That's Stoke-on-Trent. Him down there, that's Wiltshire. I'll say goodbye from the Scotsman who hasn't turned up. But I suspect he's a bit busy at the moment. And he might not be well after all the blooming riding of his bike he's been doing the last few days either. So, and then it's goodbye from the Midlands. So it's goodbye from us all. And don't forget to listen to us on the radio. And we'll see you next week.
Okay, take care, everybody. Bye. And don't rush off, please.
Okie doke.